In this presentation, I am going to teach you how to answer the difficult interview question, what type of leader are you? Now, of course, in order to answer this question, we need to first of all establish what type of leader you are. So we are going to undertake a leadership style quiz whereby I ask you a number of questions live on the screen. You answer them honestly, and this will then determine the style of leadership you have. So if you have an interview coming up, make sure you stay tuned because I will help you to pass it. Now, the interviewer is asking you the question, what type of leader are you, for two reasons. Reason number one, if you don't know what type of leader you are, you can't demonstrate that you have the necessary leadership skills to make a difference to their organization. And reason number two, some leadership styles are not attractive to hiring managers. So to help you within this presentation, here's what I will cover. So I will first of all tell you the 8 different leadership styles and which ones are most appealing to all employers. I will then give you a leadership style quiz to undertake whereby I ask you 10 questions, you answer them, and this will then determine what type of leader you are. And I will then give you a really good example answer to the difficult interview question, what type of leader are you, which will help you to pass your interview. And this answer is perfect for all industries, jobs and sectors. So let's start off and take a look at those 8 different types of leader. Now, I want to state from the get-go that there's no right or wrong style of leader. It's what's most suitable to you. And whichever sector you are in, you may find a different style of leadership will work best. Let's start working through them. The first one is an autocratic style of leader. This is somebody who will say, this is what we're going to do, and this is how we are going to do it. Now, I spent 17 years as a fire officer. So obviously turning up to fires and incidents and car accidents, I would need to adopt an autocratic style of leadership. But this generally doesn't work well, in my opinion, on a day-to-day basis. But it can be good if you are under pressure and you need your team to do something quickly and to the required standard. The second style of leader is an authoritative leadership style. Again, this is similar to an autocratic leader. They will say, follow me, I have a vision, and this is how we are going to do it. The next type of leadership is participative style. Now, a participative style of leader is someone who wants to be involved with their team. Now, generally, in my experience, when someone joins a team as a new leader, and this is their first leadership or management role, they tend to adopt a participative style of leadership whereby they want to get involved with their team because they feel that's the way to do things. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with this style, but I believe if you are a participative leader, you are not able to see the wider vision, the bigger picture, because you are too involved with tasks. The next style of leadership is a pace-setting style of leader. This is someone who is extremely driven. I have an element of pace-setting in my leadership style. Again, they are a follow-me style of leader who wants to tell people how to do things because they strongly believe that their direction is the right one for their team to follow. The next leadership style is a democratic leader. A democratic style of leader is more likely to ask their team members what they think about a particular task or project, and they will then set the direction in which they want their team to go. This is my default leadership style. I am primarily a democratic leader who has an adaptable style, who can turn on the authoritativeness when required, but I will also consult with my team, but then I will decide on the direction we are going. The next style of leadership is coaching style. Now, a coaching leader will guide, coach and train their staff and empower them to achieve great things because they believe by giving their team members the tools and the resources to do things and the right training, they will then go off and deliver. The next leadership style is an affiliative style leader. Now, an affiliative style leader is someone who generally works really closely with their team members, and they tend to get involved on an emotional level, and they are very supportive and caring. So they tend to build close working relationships with their team. I personally am not a big fan of this leadership style. Now, the last one, before we come on to this quiz, is a laissez-faire style. Now, this is a very laid-back style of leadership. It's very relaxed. And laissez-faire style leaders generally let his or her team get on with team tasks as they see fit. So they will only get involved if they really have to. So let's now take a look at this leadership style quiz. What type of leader are you? So here's the leadership style quiz instructions. And if you have a notepad and a pen with you, that's great. If not, you can just keep a note on your computer or your phone of the scores that you get. So there are 10 questions in this leadership style quiz. You have to answer each question quickly and honestly, and I'm going to give you 10 seconds only to answer each question. So the first thing that jumps out at you when you answer the questions, that should be your answer. Now choose which answer option, and there are 3 answer options from 1 to 3, is most applicable to you and what you would do in that given scenario. Now points are awarded for each answer that you choose, and it's your job to add up the total number of points that you get throughout the quiz. And the maximum number of points you can get is 30. Now don't be fooled into thinking that the more points you get, the better leader you are. That is not the case at all. So let's now start the quiz. So the first question is, question 1. At the start of a project, I let my team decide who is going to do what based on their strengths. 1 point. Or, number 2, at the start of a project, I will create a plan of action and give it to my team to implement. I like to give my team the autonomy to decide who carries out which particular task. 2 points. Number 3, at the start of a project, I will create a plan of action, delegate tasks accordingly to team members, and then monitor their performance closely to ensure the deadline is met. So you have 10 seconds, the time it takes that timer to go to the bottom, to choose which one is most applicable to you and what you would do, and then take a note of the points you get for that answer. And we will do this 10 times, and I will then tell you the type of leader you are. Here's the timer. Okay, brilliant. Question number 2. Whenever there is conflict in my team, I will, number 1, leave them to sort it out themselves. They are adults and they don't need me to sort out their problems. 1 point. Whenever there is conflict in my team, I will let the team know that I am aware of the conflict, but I will encourage them to sort it out amongst themselves. If they are not able to do so, I will take action. 2 points. Number 3, whenever there is conflict in my team, I will sort it out myself quickly by providing clear instructions on how to resolve it. Conflict in a team is not helpful, and as their leader, it is my duty to resolve it. Here's your timer. Okay, question number 3. Whenever a new member joins my team, I will, number 1, let my team members look after them and explain how we operate. My team are best placed to train and direct the new member of staff. 1 point. Number 2, whenever a new member joins my team, I will sit down and speak to the new team member. I will welcome them and explain how we do things and the standards I expect. I will then let my team members coach, train and direct the new team member until they are fully up to speed. Or number 3, whenever a new member joins my team, I will take them under my wing, tell them what is expected, train them up, provide supervision, and then let them be a part of the team once they are at the standard I expect. I am the leader and their development is my responsibility. 3 points. Okay, brilliant. And don't forget to keep a track of your scores. Question 4. During team meetings, I will. Number 1, let my team choose the agenda. I trust my team to know what they are doing. It is my job to facilitate the meeting so they can come up with appropriate actions to take moving forward. 1 point. 2, during team meetings, I will set the meeting agenda and ask each team member to contribute accordingly. I value my team's input and I will use their contributions and ideas to make effective decisions. Now, at the end of the meeting, each team member will be given action points to take away, which they will need to implement before the start of the next meeting. 2 points. Or 3, during team meetings, I will set the meeting agenda and tell my team what is expected of them. My team expects me to lead from the front, and I will decide what each team member will be doing moving forward. At the end of the meeting, each team member will be given tasks to complete within set standards and within set timescales. 3 points. Here's the timer. Okay, question 5. Whenever I delegate tasks, I will, 1, tell my team the nature of the task and leave it up to them to decide which person is best to complete it. I trust my team implicitly. 1 point. 2, whenever I delegate tasks, I will consider the task that needs doing before deciding which person in my team is best placed to complete it. I will then give a clear brief and a deadline before leaving them to finish it without close supervision. If they want to ask me for help or guidance, I am here to help. 2 points. Or 3, whenever I delegate tasks, I will consider the task that needs to be done before allocating it to a team member who I feel is best suited to the role. I will then provide the team member with a thorough brief on what needs doing, and I will closely supervise them throughout the duration of the task. The responsibility to get the task done is on my shoulders, so I will need to carefully monitor the team member and provide guidance as and when appropriate. 3 points. Okay, brilliant. Not long to go now, and we will then establish your leadership style. Question 6. Which statement is most appropriate to you? 1, I prefer my team members to get on with tasks as opposed to giving them instructions or guidance. 1 point. 2, I prefer to be involved in the allocation of team tasks because I am the person who knows my team best. Once I have allocated team tasks, I will leave it up to them to tackle them as they see fit based on their knowledge and experiences. 2 points. Or 3, I will be involved in the allocation of team tasks and their completion. After allocating team tasks, I will closely supervise my team members to make sure they are being completed to the right standard and on time. By closely supervising my team, I will be able to quickly offer advice and guidance and make sure the task is completed on time and to the standards I expect. 3 points. Question 7. Which statement is most appropriate to you? 1, as a leader, I want to be liked by my team members. If they don't like me, it concerns me. 1 point. 2, I believe it is far easier to get things done if my team members like me. 2 points. Or 3, I am not here to be liked. I am here to lead my team. Now, whatever my team members think of me is no concern of mine. I have a job to do. 3 points. Here's the timer. Question 8, just 3 more to go. Which statement is most appropriate to you? 1, I only want my team members to check in with me when they need help or assistance. 1 point. 2, I encourage team members to check in with me on a periodic basis, and I am always here to offer help and support when needed. 2 points. Or 3, I will check in on my team members every day to monitor their work performance and to make sure they are doing what is expected of them. By keeping a close eye on my team, I can be sure all tasks are completed to the right standard and on time. 3 points. Here's a timer. Okay, and question 9. Which statement is most appropriate to you? 1, I do not need to carry out performance reviews of my team members. They are responsible for themselves. I prefer to give team members the autonomy to do what they see fit in order to help my team achieve its goals. 1 point. Or 2, I see performance reviews as an important part of my leadership responsibilities. During the performance review, I will engage with each team member to see how they feel about their contributions to the team and what they would like to concentrate on over the next 12 months. By involving my team members in the review process, they are more likely to produce what is required. 2 points, or number 3. I see performance reviews as a crucial part of my leadership responsibilities. During each performance review, I will inform the team member how I feel they have performed over the last 12 months, the areas in which they need to improve, and what is expected of them moving forward. Performance reviews are an opportunity for me to outline what is expected of my team and where they need to improve. 3 points. Here's a timer. Okay, and the last question, which statement is most appropriate to you? My team doesn't need praise that often. They should know how I feel about them. 1 point. Number 2, I think it is important to regularly praise your team members. As a leader, it is my responsibility to praise good work and to motivate my team to be the best they possibly can. 2 points. And number 3, if you praise a team for good work, they will expect it every time they perform to a high standard. Carrying out good work is their responsibility, and an effective team should not need praising by their manager or leader. 3 points. Here's a timer. Okay, brilliant. And well done for getting to the end of that leadership style quiz. Let's now assess your scores and see which leadership style you have. So if you scored between 10 and 15, you generally have a laissez-faire leadership style that will work well in teams where the team members are highly experienced, they are qualified, and they can be trusted to do their work on time and to the right standard. Now, the laissez-faire style of leadership works well when having to manage or lead contracting or freelancing teams, for example, who are highly experienced in their work. However, this leadership style does not work well, in my opinion, in new teams where people will need more guidance. Nor does it work well when the pressure is on and difficult or challenging tasks need strong leadership and direction. So if you scored between 16 and 25, then you tend to have a democratic style of leadership. So you want to include your team members in the decision-making process, but you will then have the final say. And you like to maintain control by setting the standards and timelines in which tasks need to be completed by. Now, this leadership style, the democratic leadership style, is the most common type found, and it can be highly effective in most sectors and industries. However, when the pressure is on or a project needs to be completed really quickly, it is not ideal. So if you score 26 to 30, then you tend to lead with an authoritative or autocratic style. You are not the type of person who will generally consult with your team before making decisions. You want things to be done a certain way because you are paid to do a job and you will do it your way. Now, this leadership style works very well when you are under pressure or in difficult and challenging situations. So as I mentioned earlier, this type of leadership style worked well for me as a fire officer whilst I was attending operational incidents and fires, because I didn't have time to consult. I had to tell people what to do. But this leadership style does have significant drawbacks because it can usually demoralize a team, and some team members will not be happy working for this type of leader. So now let's have a look at an answer to the interview question, what type of leader are you? By the way, tell me in the comments section below which leadership style you came out at and whether you agree with it or not. Here's the answer. What type of leader are you? This is a really good answer for all jobs and sectors. What type of leader are you? Here we go. My default leadership style is democratic, where I will engage with my team members to get the most from them. Now, as a leader, I want my team to be on board with my vision, and I want them to have the skills, the qualities, and the resources needed to deliver the strategic goals of my employer. Now, although I am primarily a democratic leader, I am able to quickly change styles when needed. So for example, If we are under intense pressure, or if a project or task needed to be completed in a very quick timescale, I will be authoritative and I will dictate what needs to happen. Having this flexibility as a leader enables me to ensure I achieve the commercial and financial objectives of my employer while still being able to motivate my team and get the most from them. That's a great answer to that question. What type of leader are you? So the next thing to do, if you want to learn more about being a brilliant manager and a leader, click that link right now in the top right hand corner of the video. Head over to my website right here, which is called my Management Skills Masterclass. Now I've created an online course that will teach you everything you need to know about being a great leader and a manager. So within this course, I have included all my years' experience as a fire officer, leading and managing lots of teams. At one point, I was managing a team of 66 men and women, and I learned lots of different skills that enabled me to be highly effective and productive in my role in the fire service. Now, within this online course, there are 30 modules. So if you scroll down this page, there are 30 modules here. I cover loads of different tools and resources that will help you to be a brilliant manager. Make sure you check those out. So you can get access to that course right now by clicking that link in the top right hand corner of the video or heading over to my page, managementskillsmasterclass.com. This tutorial is helping people to be better managers and leaders. It's a great resource. Make sure you check that out. Finally, I hope you've enjoyed that. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Lots of you are passing your interviews and developing into great leaders and managers after using my resources, which is great. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. I've put my LinkedIn link in the description below the video. And finally, please give the video a like. That tells me you find the content useful and it motivates me to create more for you. Thank you very much for watching, and I wish you all the best for a successful career and future. Thank you.